Hey kids, it's time for Youth Bible Study with your girl, Sister Cecelia Jenkins.
This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Good evening, everyone. To the Board of Examiners, my instructors and classmates in first year studies. Today, I am presenting my Bible study lesson to the youth of St. Luke AME Church in downtown Hollywood, South Carolina, my home church. I thought this would be a great idea to bring church to them. They have expressed to me that they miss church. They have been bored at home due to the pandemic. And this was a unique opportunity to share that word through them and get a chance to have a conversation with them and see where they are. So today's lesson that I presented to them is Balaam and the Talking Donkey. I hope you will enjoy our presentation. Be blessed. All righty, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our virtual Bible study. And just wanted to kind of do this with you guys. And can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Just stay. Do you do this with me on?
All righty, and why can I not see y'all anymore? Okay, there we go.
So I thought.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so I need somebody to lead us in the Lord's Prayer. I can't believe they're doing this to me. I told them we were recording this.
Not me. Yeah.
Okay, so our little Herbert, if you lead prayer, and then
Got it.
huh?
Got it.
Okay, so then I need all of us together to recite the Lord's Prayer, okay? Okay, you ready? Let's get serious. All right, our Father, who art
In heaven.
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom,
the
the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Very good, y'all. Okay, we're going to sing now. It's singing time. Okay, I think I'm going to have some reprieve here because every last student that's in attendance on Zoom is on the choir that I play for and direct. So I know they're going to make me proud here. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're going to start. How great is our God? Okay, y'all see the words, right? All righty. Great is our God. Sing with me, how great. Everybody is our God. Oh, sing how great. Put your hands together. How great is our God. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. Oh, see how great is our God. One more verse, you're the name above all names. You
Worthy of all praise.
and my heart will sing, how great is our God.
One.
All righty. Boy, y'all look excited. Oh. I can't win. Oh my goodness. Let's get to the lesson. Oh, I didn't mean to do that again. Okay, let's get started with our lesson. So the first thing I want y'all to do is identify this animal in this picture.
Okay.
Shrek and a donkey.
Donkey? Shrek and the donkey. Oh.
Shrek and the donkey. Y'all remember this movie? Shrek?
Yes.
Okay, so if you guessed donkey, you're exactly right. All righty. Who can make the best donkey sound? Okay. Okay, let's mute and let's see who's the best. Okay, so Khalil, go ahead and mute first. And then let me hear the Jenkins boys do the donkey sound. All right, let me hear you guys.
No, we do it.
Okay, y'all ready? Go.
You too.
Do the donkey sound. Okay. All right, y'all mute. And Khalil, it's your turn.
I don't even mute ourselves. Oh, I see it now.
Okay. All right, Khalil, the best donkey sound you got. So okay, now who do you think was the best? I think Khalil won that game because I couldn't hear you guys. Y'all want to try one more time? Herbert and Anderson?
No.
No? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you know what's the amazing thing? Did y'all know there's a real story about a talking donkey in the Bible? Did either of you know that?
No, I did not.
There's a donkey in the Bible that actually talks. So Shrek is a made-up story, but there's a real story about a real donkey, and he doesn't have a name either. So we'll just call him Donkey. Okay? Okay, so the title of today's lesson is Balaam and the Talking Donkey.
That's it.
Yes. And that first word is Balaam. All righty.
I said donkey. It's B-E.
Okay. Can anybody tell me what that word says?
22.
Numbers 22.
22. And this is where the story comes from, Numbers 22. Now here's the question that I want you to write the answer down.
Oh,
and
shoot.
when you write the answer, I want you to put it on your screen and I'll see who's right.
Oh, shoot.
Is the book of Numbers in the Old Testament book or the New Testament book? And all you have to do is put old or new.
Okay.
So is Numbers in the Old Testament book or the New? So write your answer, write the answer nice and big and let me see it on the screen.
Oh, it's better. Oh my gosh.
Okay, can I see it? Let's see, can I see? What does yours say, Anderson? You say?
Wait.
Did you say old or new?
Oh, you said old.
Okay, you say old. Okay, Herbert, what's your answer?
Shoot. Old.
Your answer says old. Okay, Khalil, what is your answer? And Faith, what is your answer?
Old.
Okay, you say old. And Faith, let me see if Faith has a different answer or the same answer.
Faith said old, Khalil said new.
Oh, Khalil say no. I mean new. And then Faith says old. Okay. Drum roll, here's the answer. And it's in the Old Testament. Okay.
The old? Let's go.
It's in the Old Testament. In fact, it's one of the first 5 books of the Bible. Okay?
I knew it, bro. Let's
Yes.
go.
Yes, 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 yes. All righty. Okay, can anybody take a guess as to why that book was called Numbers?
Because that's the. It was after when Jesus. No.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I can't. No.
Okay, but that's okay. That's no problem. Okay, the book is called Numbers because at the beginning of that book, God ordered a count of the people that was in the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, does that sound familiar? Now what we do is called a census, and the census is done every 4 years. And I don't know if you noticed in your parents' mail, but they got a blue card already saying that they need to fill out a form online saying how many people are in your house.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that sounds familiar. And the census is done every time there's a presidential election. So, so, so how many people are in your house?
5, Mama. 6 miles. 6. No, shut.
6 people are in your house, and then Khalil and Faith.
We said 6.
You said how many people?
7.
7. Okay.
What?
And so the government, so the government takes that count and they use that information to determine how much money certain areas get for certain programs. Okay.
Wait. Our numbers together make 7.
Okay, so somebody's doing a recount.
We get 4,000.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually 400,000.
Okay. So this year is 2020. Okay, so Anderson, so this year is 2020. So the next census will be done when?
Tomorrow? Wait, no, today. Today.
No, 4 years from this year will be what year? This is year
That's easy. That's easy.
2024.
2024. Correct. Yeah, so that's when the next census will be done. All righty, good job, guys. Okay, now here's how the story starts and begins. All righty, the Israelites, they were God's chosen people, and they were promised a certain land called the Promised Land. And this promise was given to them since the days of when Abraham existed. You remember we talked about Abraham a few months ago, and Abraham would be the father of many nations, and all of his people would be blessed. Well, he was promised a certain nation. Anderson? Okay, so now they're traveling to the Promised Land. Moses had just gotten them out of captivity, so they're no longer slaves anymore. They left Egypt, they left Pharaoh, and now they're heading to the Promised Land. Okay, now as they go through the Promised Land, they're not trying to hurt anybody, they're not trying to attack anybody, they're just trying to get from point A to point B. They're trying to get from Hollywood to North Charleston. They're trying to get from North Charleston to Hollywood. And when you go from here to Charleston, you got to go through Rantoul, you got to go through Red Top, you got to pass by Johns Island, and then you get to West Ashley. Same thing for Herbert and Anderson. When you're coming to church on Sundays, you got to come through Somerville, you got to come through Ravenel, and then you come through Hollywood, and then you finally get to the church. Now, you're not trying to bother anybody as you're going down the road, right? And then, the same thing was with the Israelites. But as they were traveling, some of the people attacked them. But God helped them fight their battles, and guess what? They won, didn't they? And somebody's got their sword ready. We're going to use that sword in just a little while. Now they're outside of the country. If you see the picture.
I don't have no sword.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. Just imagine. Okay, so right now, if you see in the picture, they're outside of this city called Moab. And the people had already heard about what was going on with them. They already had heard about their reputation of conquering all of these other countries. And so now they're getting ready to come into this country called Moab. And the people got scared. They got nervous. They panicked. Ah! You know, and the king, because the people panicked, King Balak, he got nervous too. Does anybody have a crown on? Does anybody have a crown on? I think Faith has her crown on. So can you imagine, Faith, being, well, you're the queen, but can you imagine being in charge of a country and everybody is nervous? Doesn't it make you nervous too? Yeah, it would make you nervous. So they got scared. So can anybody tell me what fair is?
Like
Somebody gets to do it, the other person gets to do it.
Okay, so when somebody is afraid, they do.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I didn't know.
Yeah, okay, so you can repeat it, you can change your answer. So what does being afraid means? What is fear?
fear that like
Because you do something strange and desperate things.
Okay, yeah, fear, you saw my answer. But fear is, yeah. Being afraid means that you're uncertain. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's underneath your bed at night. It means that you don't know what's behind the curtains. So you become scared, okay? And fear will cause you to do some strange and desperate things. And this is what the king, and we're going to pretend that Faith, since she has on a crown, she is the queen or the king in this story, okay? So, King Faith, yes, she decided to do something desperate, okay? Has anybody ever heard the name Harry Potter? Ah, okay. And do you know what Harry Potter was able to do?
magic.
No.
All right, hey guys, how y'all doing?
Why?
All righty, I can see you. Smith family, can you hear me?
Because the show from you is on mute.
Okay. All right, they're on mute, but I just want to make sure they can hear me. Okay, so Harry Potter was a what? Magician, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so the King Moab, King Balak decided to call this magician to put a curse on the Israelites. Okay? He had a reputation for putting a curse on people. Hey guys, how are y'all? Hey Smith family. Hey Christopher. Hey Patricia. Hey Mario.
Hi.
We are just starting the story of King Balaam and the talking donkey. Did y'all know that? Yeah, a donkey talked in the Bible.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. It's not true.
No, it really is true.
It's not true. A donkey can't even talk.
A donkey can talk. Okay, so the elders, they come up to Balaam's house and they tell him what the king wants. So they explain to him that the king wants Balaam to come to the palace so he could place a curse on God's people. Okay? So before Balaam made that decision, he told them to spend a night and then he would give them an answer in the morning after he talked to God. So I want you to pay attention to that. So then God comes to Balaam and asks, why were those people there? So Balaam tells him the story. Well, God, these people asked me to come with them to the palace so I could place a curse on the Israelites. So God told Balaam that he couldn't do it. Why? Because the Israelites were blessed. Okay, have you heard of people being blessed?
Yeah.
Yes. So when people are blessed, they can't be cursed. Okay, so you can't put a spell on people that are blessed. Okay, so I just want you to pay attention to what I have here at the bottom where it says news flash. Always talk to God first. Listen to what God says. Hashtag listen to what God says. And remember that we are blessed people. Okay, any questions so far?
When are we going to use our swords?
We're going to use the sword in just a little bit. Okay, so then the elders go back to the king and they tell them that Balaam couldn't come because God told him that he couldn't come. So this time, King Balak sends his top officials back with money. So now he wants to pay Balaam to come back and put a curse on God's people. Okay? And you see that little emoji that I have in the corner that says, oh, wow, okay, something's about to happen here.
Where?
So, yeah. Oh, you can't see it? Let's see. Let me, okay, I'm going to lose the picture here. Okay, can you see it now?
No.
Okay. So Balaam told the officials that even if he could go with them, he could only say what God tells him to say. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot here. Okay. So now God comes to Balaam again that night, and then God gives him permission to go this time to the king because the king summoned him. But he reminds Balaam to do what he tells him to do. Okay? Now, if you notice, the donkey in the window is going, uh-oh. Okay? And there's a reason why he's looking that way. So Balaam gets his donkey together, packs him up, and gets ready to leave to go to the king. But God knew, just as his donkey knew, Balaam had some other plans in mind. Can you kind of guess what that might be?
Putting the curse.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's a possibility. Maybe he is going to put the curse on the people, God's people, even though God told him not to, right? But what was the other thing that you saw in the previous picture that I had underlined? Remember that word and it was green? Anybody want to take a guess?
Money.
Money, yes.
Oh,
Alrighty. Balaam's heart was filled with greed. He thought about the money. Well, maybe if I go to the king, I can make this money and then still do what God says. Okay? But remember, God knows what we're thinking in our minds, and he also knows what's in our heart. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now God gets angry with Balaam, and this is where the sword comes in. Where is your sword? Okay, I've got 2 Power Rangers. All righty, 2 folks from Wakanda. All right, so imagine that you were the angel of the Lord and you draw your sword out. How would you do it? And you're getting ready to attack somebody. There you go. That's the, yes, Khalil. I don't know what that is, the object is, but that's the general idea. So as they were traveling along the path, the angel of the Lord showed up on this road and he had his sword drawn. He was getting ready to strike Balaam down. Yes. Do that again, Anderson. Okay. Now, let's finish the story. The donkey could see the angel, but Balaam and his servants couldn't see the angel. So when the donkey saw the angel, he ran off the side of the road.
Yes.
Balaam got mad with the donkey, and then he beat his donkey. Okay. Now the second time, as they were traveling along the path, the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow place where the donkey couldn't go off the path, but there were walls on each side of the path. So this time the donkey squeezed himself on the side of the wall, and he mashed Balaam's foot. So Balaam got mad again. What did Balaam do?
Beat him up.
Beat who?
The donkey.
All right, so he beat the donkey again. The third time, the angel moves ahead and he stands in a spot where Balaam couldn't go to the side, he couldn't go against the wall. So guess what the donkey does?
Go straight?
He stopped. Yeah, he stopped dead in his tracks and he didn't move. He just lied down. So what does Balaam do again? He beat the donkey, right? Because he thought the donkey was trying to make a fool of him. All righty? So now here is where the donkey speaks. And I will send you that verse. The donkey, and this I translated it in my words. The donkey said, hey, bro, I don't deserve this. I've been taking you places time and time again, and I've never acted like this. I'm your ride or die, bro. So there must be a reason. Know what I'm saying? That's in other words, that's what the donkey said. So the donkey speaks in the Bible.
Stop it, Chris.
Yeah. So now the donkey started thinking about what he said, and that's when God opened Balaam's eyes. And now Balaam sees, let's draw the sword again. Balaam sees that the angel of the Lord had his sword drawn and ready to strike Balaam. And so basically, the angel of the Lord tells Balaam, that he shouldn't have beat his donkey because his donkey was actually looking out for him. So the donkey really did have Balaam's back, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to protect Balaam, okay? So Balaam apologizes and said that he would just go back home, but the angel of the Lord allowed him to continue his journey and go to the king's palace, reminding him only to speak what he is told to speak. So what did you think Balaam and the donkey did after that? And I'll show you the picture.
They go on a journey.
They continued on their journey, but as you can see,
Oh my God.
that was a big scare for them, right? So they not only walked on their journey, they pretty much ran. The donkey and Balaam, they rode really fast, to the king's palace. Okay? Okay, so the lessons that we learned from Numbers 22 about Balaam and the donkey is number one, to never be afraid. Always remember that God is with us. He will always protect us, even when we feel scared. And if you saw the video on last Sunday with CJ and the lizard, and Reverend Jenkins talked about fear, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so if you remember that story, if you didn't see it, I invite you to go back on YouTube and watch that story with CJ being afraid, okay? The next thing is to always talk to God first, okay? Anything that you're thinking about doing, whether it's right or wrong, always talk to God first because God is going to give you the correct answer, okay? The next thing, once God tells you to do something, you should always do what? What's that word up here? It says always do what?
Do it.
Somebody say it again. Always do what?
Do it.
Do it. And then if you look at number 3, it says always what?
Listen.
Listen to God. Okay. Now the next thing is be careful what you have in your heart. whether it's greed, wanting to hurt somebody else, or you're jealous of somebody else, be careful what you have in your heart, because God does not like us to have bad things in our heart, doesn't he? Okay, all righty. And then the next thing is to pay attention to and hold close those that truly have your back. Okay, so the donkey was really a good friend of Balaam, right? How many of you have pets? Anybody has pets?
It's true.
Smith family, do y'all have pets?
We used to.
Y'all used to, okay? And did you love your pets?
Yeah.
And they loved you, didn't they?
Yeah.
All righty, so they were truly good friends of yours, right? And those that are true friends of yours, you need to take care of them, right?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, the next lesson learned is when you do something wrong, you apologize. Tell them sorry. Okay, so if you do something bad to your brother or sister and you know it's wrong, apologize. If you do something wrong when your parents tell you not to do it, apologize. I know Patricia got that look. I understand, Patricia, you're just being honest with your feelings. Nothing wrong with that. You can sit back up. You can sit back up. That's just natural. Because sometimes when we fight, we don't want to apologize, do we? Sometimes that can be very hard. But when you think about it, you really do love your brother, do you? Or you do love your sister. So just start to apologize, okay? And then the last thing is, after you've done wrong, after you've apologized, just get back up on your horse and continue riding. That means don't give up. And where my sword, fellas? There you go. Even though, and can you do an X for me, please, fellas? Yeah. So even though sometimes people might want to block your way, they might want to stop you from doing good, don't let them, okay? Don't let them stop you from doing good. King Balaam, will you stand? King Balaam, the person who was playing King Balaam.
Oh, give me my. Ow!
So we're going to learn the next time that even though King Balaam wanted to do something bad to the Israelites, it's not going to work, right?
Right.
Very, very good, because God is always with them. Any questions?
No, man.
Okay. Okay, so that's the end of our story for today.
Leaving the meeting. I'm just kidding.
Hey, we have
Don't.
And then all I need is for somebody to do a closing prayer for us, and then we will dismiss. Okay, so who wants to pray?
The Lord's Prayer?
No, you can either do may the Lord keep watch between, or your own personal prayer.
personal prayer.
Okay, somebody wants to do their own personal prayer?
Christopher does. Christopher does.
Okay, so everybody else, can we mute?
Time for you.
Okay, and can we bow our heads while Christopher gives us music prayer? Oh, Mario? I'm sorry, that's Mario or Christopher? Okay. Okay, I need y'all to keep that still because we're recording this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Christopher, go ahead and give us that closing prayer. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna need, Patricia, I'll need y'all to be quiet. Okay, Christopher, I need you in the camera. Okay. And let's close our eyes, everybody. Okay. All right, Christopher, go ahead.
Thank you, Lord, for waking us up this morning and
keeping us safe all night. Love you, Lord. Thank you for the lesson we learned. Please bless all of our friends and our church family. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank y'all. I really do appreciate it, and I will start recording.